considering there is a lot of people out there, considering there is, it is rush hour and people are getting out of work. And I mean, the fact that there he goes again, crossing into the middle area, going into the other way. I mean, imagine being one of the other cars and seeing this. I mean, talk about terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying. You just got off work. It's a beautiful day. You're thinking about whatever errands you got to run, and someone just comes blasting along at 70 miles an hour, almost going head on into you. So looked like he was maybe wanting to make a U-turn there. But as we make this turn now onto Park Avenue
and now through the neighborhoods, I mean, this isn't good either.
And getting it, this is definitely nerve-wracking. Right over that roundabout, just going right over the top of it. Yeah, these are neighborhoods where folks are going to be out here walking their dogs or something like that. We've seen so many pursuits lately come way, way too close to pedestrians out there walking around. And you see how close LAPD is here. It almost makes you think maybe they're looking for an opportunity to do a pit maneuver. Speeds are still way, way too high, and there's way too many people out in this particular neighborhood. I haven't heard anything about spike strips, so if speeds slow down, maybe an opportunity will present itself for LAPD to end this with a pit maneuver, but this is just a super, super dangerous one now as we turn onto Zimino Street. Zimino Avenue here. In Long Beach.
Yeah, you weren't kidding when you said this driver was, driving reckless, very chaotic, and definitely going at very high speeds considering this is a neighborhood and there are a lot of people out and about. And, it doesn't appear that this driver has any intentions to pull over or stop because, I mean, you could definitely see the black and whites right behind him, hoping that he would pull over. And now they're still going. Does it look like they kind of pulled back a little bit, or is that just from the shot point of view? Okay, so they're still fairly close.
Yeah, they're still pretty close. I mean, this is really tough for LAPD. There's probably moments where they need to back off and catch their breath because this is so dangerous. We did just hear that LAPD is bringing in their helicopter with a fresh tank of gas, so they want to maintain the coverage from the air. The way this person is driving so desperately to try to get away from LAPD, and there's been so many instances where they lose sight of them from the ground. And we'll see if LAPD continues this. There was a really dangerous one last week that was also a stolen vehicle that they had to let go because there were a couple of pedestrians that were nearly killed by that person. And this person is driving just as erratically, if not more so, than in that pursuit. So we just have to see if LAPD is going to keep it. So far, they are being awfully aggressive, but it's really tough for LAPD. They don't want to set a precedent where all you have to do is drive crazy and they'll let you go. But at the same time, they have to balance the safety of the public. So it's almost a catch-22 situation for the authorities. But at the moment here on Anaheim Street, they are continuing this pursuit.
Yeah, just so hard to watch. And, this is one of those situations where this is why it's so important when you're a driver on the road to pay attention and not have your cell phone out and just see what's going on around you, because in the city of Los Angeles or in the Southern California area, you just never know what could happen. And obviously this driver is being reckless. And I just want to let the viewers know Susie Sudd joins us now. And Susie, we're watching this stolen vehicle pursuit, and it started in Long Beach. LAPD is the lead agency, and I've just been watching this for a few minutes. This driver is reckless, very chaotic, going in and out of lanes that are, the oncoming traffic is coming, and no intentions to stop.
Yeah, and Chris, and this is why we're always talking about the LAPD possibly backing off, possibly going into a tracking mode, because they may have their airship overboard and be tracking this car from up ahead or up above, just like Desmond is right now. But they also have those ground units, and when they put pressure on these people, sometimes when they're driving, at these high rates of speed, I mean, going on the wrong side of the road, they're so amped up, and to add pressure to that, sometimes they have to say, you know what? If we keep pursuing this person at this high rate of speed, for one, of course, it's dangerous because obviously there are people out and about, but also just putting that extra pressure on that person to maybe even go faster or drive even more recklessly, God forbid, should that happen. So they're really trying to see, what they do, a balance check test, if you will. If we pursue this person, is it worth pursuing them?
There
is
he
it
goes,
worth
oncoming traffic
to the wrong side of the street again? It's
and
incredible that there's no one else
off.
on that side of the road right now. It looks like they're at a stoplight.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, this is the time kids are getting off of school.
Sure.
People getting off of work. Okay, he's going through a gas station. Let's see what happens here.
Oftentimes they'll go through a gas station and stop right underneath the awning so we can't see them
Yeah,
when they're
they
actually
do.
arrested. But it looks like they just went right through there just to get to the other side of the street.
Do we know anything else about this driver, Desmond? Okay, what's going on? Well, this is interesting.
wow.
They're-
Oh,
going
wow,
across the
over
median.
the median.
Four-wheeling in
Yeah.
a car.
I don't think this vehicle has stopped once. I don't know how this hasn't already ended
This is
in a crash right
ridiculous.
now. Hasn't stopped it. Hasn't even slowed down going through any red light. Refuses to stop at all and coming into any rush hour traffic. You see just going right over the center divider and right into oncoming traffic. Absolutely no fear
Another gas
at all
station.
from this just insane driving. And we're coming into the busiest part of the day. What are they going to do
Ooh.
right here?
Oh.
No,
Oh, no.
on the
On the
sidewalk. There's someone
sidewalk.
right
Imagine
there on
that
the
person.
sidewalk.
That person doesn't
It's
even see them
horrible.
behind him. Did you see that? They didn't even know that car was right behind them.
Completely,
Unbelievable.
completely oblivious. Might have had some, earbuds in their ear
Pay
and had no
attention,
idea.
people.
So this is really shows you what we're dealing with now through this shopping center right now, and that's where LAPD will draw the line. They're not going to drive on the sidewalk like that to pursue, so they kind of have to go around.
Look at those
these
kids,
folks
yeah.
having to get out of the way of this maniac. So we see how insanely dangerous this has been and seems to be getting even more so. No units directly behind at the moment. Coming to a
Okay,
stop
he's getting out
now
of his
here
vehicle.
off of
This person's a
23rd and
lunatic.
Marbar Avenue. At least they're out of the vehicle.
Oh,
Let's see what
they're
Any
going back
happens
ground
in.
here.
units nearby,
Uh,
Desmond?
Wait,
Well,
they got out.
Maybe going back in to try to grab something, realizing that they had some space on LAPD and trying to take this opportunity to run.
And they're off.
Do you see
I
any
have to
ground
imagine
units
that-
nearby,
that-
Desmond?
I don't at the moment. They had to go around, and there was a lot of traffic right around. There they are.
Okay.
Now this tree's in the way. We'll see if we can get beyond this tree right now. But I think they're going to finally catch up to this person. And just so glad this didn't end in someone getting seriously hurt. It didn't end in a head-on collision. It's amazing that it did. But you see the officers swarming, unfortunately, underneath this canopy of trees. But I think they're going to have the suspect hopefully in custody shortly.
If you are just joining us here on KCAL 9 News at 4, this is breaking news. The end of a stolen vehicle pursuit, at least the car portion of it. The suspect drove through the San Pedro area. We believe this is a stolen car out of the that area, San Pedro. Possibly the driver went through the Long Beach area over the Gerald Desmond Bridge and ended up here on the streets of Long Beach, as you can see on the right side of your screen from earlier, making all these dangerous moves, Chris, going on the sidewalk, going onto the median, going on the wrong side of the road.
Several times.
Wow, getting so close to pedestrians too, at least 4 that I counted.
Yeah, no, this is one of those situations that it makes you wonder. This person was driving like a lunatic for so long. What was it? Why did this person decide to pull over here? Because obviously he had no intentions to stop before. And Desmond, is he in custody now?
Yes, I did hear LAPD
Oh,
just
good.
say suspect in custody. They wanted to go run and search the vehicle. They weren't certain that there was anyone inside. We didn't see anybody else get in. Hopefully going to see, 4 fingers there. Code 4 means all clear. So there was just one person in the vehicle there. Really breathing a sigh of relief that no one was hurt in this after some of the craziest driving we've ever seen. But a pursuit comes to an end here at 23rd and Marbar Avenue in Long Beach. Chris and Susie.
Oh, yeah, just so glad that this is coming to an end. The suspect is in custody. This all started as a stolen vehicle pursuit. And yeah, I mean, good news, Susie.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, all right, Desmond. Well, great job covering that from above. We're going to move on to another big story that a lot of people were talking about. Yeah, take a look. This is the 210 freeway, kind of looking more like a rodeo. After this cow got loose with animal control, CHP and more, they were in a hot pursuit.
My goodness. Welcome to KCAL 9 News at 4, streaming on CBS News Los Angeles. I'm Susie Sa.
And I'm Chris Holmes from In Today for Juan Fernandez. Well, it almost didn't seem real, but this is LA after all.
Yeah, the cow was spotted on the 210 freeway in Lakeview Terrace at the Osborne Street exit. KCAL 9's Tina Ezzedine.
children. We have children from who's not in school fighting, jumping over our fence, attacking our children. It's not right, and I'm tired of it.
Goins and these other parents heard about what happened on Friday and are shocked at the mother's behavior. Today, LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho arrived on campus to find out what was going on. He didn't speak with the media, but a representative for LA School Police did.
This is a result of not having school police officers on campus. We used to have school police officers assign here a police car in front of the school to show that there was an officer on campus or two to make sure that kids were safe.
If they can do that, I would welcome that on the campus so that my kids can walk back and forth to their classrooms safely.
LA School Police tell us no one was arrested and no one was injured here today. They tell us Friday's incident is still under investigation. Reporting in South LA, Rachel Kim, KCAL 9 News.
A homeless man accused of killing a 70-year-old nurse in an unprovoked attack pleaded not guilty today.
He will continue to be held on $2 million bail.
48-year-old Carrie Bell is charged in the death of Sandra Shells. Police say he attacked her at a bus stop near Union Station in January. She fell and hit her head on the concrete. Shell was waiting to catch a bus to her job at LA County USC Medical Center. Bell is due back in court in May. And now to the war in Ukraine. Ukraine's president accusing Russia of bombing a maternity hospital, and he says women and children are trapped beneath the rubble.
And Russia has denied this as it continues its assault on the country. KCAL 9 Skylar Henry has the latest development both overseas and here at home.
Susie and Chris, good to see you. Well, Ukrainian officials say they still need more help from Western allies in terms of the fight against the Russians. The Biden administration doing what it can, not only with those sanctions, but also calling on Congress to pass legislation that would send help to Ukraine, billions of dollars, and not only humanitarian aid, but military assistance as well. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky tweeted out video he says shows evidence of a Russian strike on a maternity hospital.
Russia's aggression has already killed and injured innocent people and forced more than 1.5 million Ukrainians to flee their country.
Zelensky once again called on the West to impose a no-fly zone over Ukraine, something NATO says it won't do. The U.S. also shot down a Polish plan to give Ukraine Russian-made jets, but only if they are first delivered to Germany and then flown from a U.S. base to Ukraine.
I think it's pretty clear it doesn't require a military expert to understand why having planes fly from a U.S. airbase into a contested part of a country where there is a war is not in our interest and not in NATO interests.
President Zelensky thanked the U.S. for banning Russian oil, but admonishment doesn't stop with government sanctions. Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Starbucks, and other corporations have all announced they are halting sales in Russia.
The fact that the Russian people aren't being told the truth. But they will be seeing now, by the fact that shops are closing, they're not able to get the goods that they were able to get, exactly the implications that Putin's aggression is in Ukraine is having for Russia.
Social media showed people lining up at McDonald's in Moscow before the store closes. The State Department says Poland did not consult with the U.S. before announcing its plans to send those jets over to Ukraine. We're here at the White House. I'm Skylar Henry. Back to you in L.A.
And for Ukraine is a big part of Congress, a $1.5 trillion spending bill expected to be voted on soon. With bipartisan support, the aid package ballooned to over $13.5 billion. The spending would also keep the government running past Friday through September. One number being revised, $15.5 billion for COVID-19 relief.
This agreement does not include everything I wanted, and I know it doesn't include everything my Republican friends wanted. But I think at the end of the day, it's a good package.
And Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he backs the bill and will encourage the Republican caucus to vote yes on it if it passes the House.
There's some more breaking news right now. Pursuit comes to an end in a crash.
Yeah, another one. Desmond Shaw live in Sky 9 over Gardena. Desmond, what do you know about this one?
Well, Chris and Susie, this came to an end here on, it looks like Berendo Avenue, just south of Redondo Beach Boulevard. And it did end in a crash. Fortunately, I believe it was kind of minor. It's kind of difficult to see the damage to this. It was originally a reckless DUI was the one, so driving pretty crazy. But then it sounds like LA County Sheriff's deputies matched the plate to a possible robbery that just occurred as well. There were 3 people in the vehicle. They got one in custody. It was 2 men and a woman. They're still looking for one man and the woman that got out and ran into this neighborhood. somewhere. So they've set up a containment zone here, still calling for more resources, and they have their helicopter overhead trying to find a man and a woman outstanding after being in a short but crazy pursuit that may be tied to a robbery. Live in Sky 9 overhead, I'm Desmond Shaw. Chris and Susie, back to you in the studio.
Desmond, thank you so much. Off the street and under arrest.
Coming up, how investigators caught a tree